Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I guess we could sit there and start off with the human toilet known as Spencer. I swear, I feel like every time he's on this show, he gives me new reasons to dislike him. He really does. Um, he starts off being in Spring Ridge, where Laura and Kevin are going to go and see Esme. And, they see him because, well, okay, so first of all, let me just kind of paint the picture a little bit. So they walk in, they get ready to sit there and try to talk to Esme. And, Spencer is like right there, and Laura's like, yo, listen, you gotta leave. Like, you can't be here right now. And of course, Spencer's like, no, I'm not going nowhere, I'm not leaving, and stuff like that. Now, when Esme comes out, Esme's sitting there looking at Laura and Kevin like, yo, listen, you agreed to sit there and meet me in good faith. Like, now, what was this, some sort of ambush or whatever? Like, and the whole thing is, Laura's sitting there trying to gain her trust. Okay? She doesn't want that baby raised in jail any more than he does. But when he tells her to leave, when he tells him to leave, he's like, no, I'm not doing it. Da, 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 da. I don't want my brother. Da, da, da. It just starts yelling and stuff. And I'm like, here's the thing. Spencer is so used to getting his way. He's so used to sitting there doing this, snapping his fingers and have people just run to his every beck and call, that he can't comprehend the idea that in this situation, you can't just yell and get your way, even if his heart is in the right place. Which it is. His heart is in the right place. Okay, I don't fault him for that. But the whole yelling and threatening and throwing temper tantrums, bro, that's not going to get you anywhere. And eventually Laura's like, listen, I need to gain her trust. You want that. I want that. So right now you need to sit there and leave. So he finally, it's like the brain cells in his head finally starts to work, and he's like, okay, yeah, you're right. And of course he walks up there talking about, but this ain't over. Spencer, just go. Okay? Like, just go. My God, he just gives me new reasons every day to not like him. So he leaves, and Kevin and Laura try to talk some sense into her, because at first they got to sit there and calm her down, because now they're coming into a situation that Esme is super suspicious of their motives and stuff like that, and questioning if she can even really trust them. And she lowered her guard down a little bit. Kevin's not being like, you're family to me, and I get it. I look like your dad and stuff like that, but I want what's best for you. And Laura tries to get through her head, like, listen, I get it. You love your child and stuff like that, but this is not, it's like, this is not ideal for any, any child. And if you have to go to, Pentville, this is going to look like a spa compared to there. But, Esme's like, listen, I get what you're trying to say and everything like that, but I want my baby to stay with me. And she pretty much is like, no, it's not going to happen. So she walks away, or they walk away. And at first, I was wondering why Laura wasn't there crying. I mean, I know Laura's partly crying because, she doesn't want that baby brought up in jail, and she wants the baby with her. But she does admit that Esme does love that child. Now, Spencer heads over to, Kelly's, or whatever that place is called now. I think it's still called Kelly's, I think. Where Cam is. Cam, Josh, and Trina are hanging out, kind of reminiscing about the good old, well, not really about the good old days, but just more about like some gossip or whatever that happened. And you start laughing a little bit, but of course he looks at Josh and it's like, like for a brief second, he thought about what they had, what they all meant to each other, just the laughter and the fun and just the friendship and camaraderie, whatever. But then he also kind of looked at her like, oh yeah, remember that time I walked in and realized that you was, do I sit there and say, put it nicely, was having your back blown out by Dex. Yeah, fun time. So it was kind of awkward a little bit. Spencer comes in and he pretty much tells all of them that he's leaving to go to he's leaving Port Charles. I forgot what he said he's going, but he's leaving Port Charles on a scholarship of soccer scholarship or whatever. And while Trina and Josh are happy, Spencer is sus about the whole thing. And Spencer's like, no, 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 this is BS. There's more. There's more of a reason why you're leaving. And all three of them just kind of look at him. And at first, it almost looked like Josh was gonna be kind of nervous, like, "Oh, you're leaving because of her, whatever." Like I thought that, like she thought that he was gonna start that back up again. But he was like, "No, it's because of Esme, and then the revenge tape, and this, that, and the third. She's always ruined everyone's lives, and that's what this is about." And Josh was like, "No, this is literally like this is a good thing. Like, um, don't let Esme sit there and tarnish, his accomplice." But of course, Spencer, being Spencer, had to sit there and make him by himself, and he's just start going on and on and on. He just walks off, and I'm like, bro, this dude is literally leaving to go away to college, on a scholarship, and you want to sit there and make this about yourself. So honestly, to tell you the truth, when he left, I was like, good. That's just bad energy going that way. Um, and of course, Trina left right after. And here's the thing. I knew they were going to do this. I knew they were going to do this. So when he was like, he pretty much forgave her. He was like, listen, I want to be friends and stuff like that, and um, eventually I want to move past it. And I was just like, and of course I wrote my notes WTF because I was like, wait, are you telling me? Are you telling me that you want to sit there and be friends with the chick that used you like a damn toilet seat? Are you kidding me? Now, to some extent, I am pretty biased. I'm very, 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 very finicky on forgiveness. I mean, granted, it depends on the transgression, but I'm very finicky when it comes towards, um, forgiveness and stuff. But I'm just like, bro, this chick literally cheated on you, said that she didn't owe you anything, and you're just like, yeah, I want to get back to a place we can be friends again. Hey, wow. But he does sit there and warn her about Dex, the life that he leads, how many times you're going to get hurt, will you get in the crossfire? You need to sit there and leave him. You don't want to get caught up in that life. Now, granted, I think this might be the second person that told her about Dex in his life. And I'm like, listen, if you're not even going to sit there and take Cam's word for it, take the person who's lived that life for many, many years, Harley. You know, it was good to see Kristina again. This scene was a huge waste of time. This is like the definition of filler. This is one of those things where I'm just like, did y'all just stop trying to give Kristina a good story? Did y'all just sit there and say F it a long time ago after the whole Shiloh thing? Y'all were just like, nah, it's cool. Because she comes in there, and after she has some words with Dex and stuff, she's like, I have a business proposition. She wants to own a restaurant. And while that's not a bad ambition, boo, aren't you already a manager of a bar? Like, Okay, is she a manager or is she a co-manager? I don't understand how that works. But the point is, she's already doing something. You know, she manages Charlie's, or one of the managers of Charlie's. So I'm just like, why do you want to sit there and own a restaurant? I don't understand that. And Sonny's like, listen, it's not like I won't back you, but is this sure? Is this like, why are you doing this for? And of course, she talks about Molly and how her life is moving forward, and she wants to have that too. And I'm just like, what does owning a bar have anything to do? Like, I guess maybe she wants like that 5-year plan because I just don't understand, like, because she's all like, oh, Molly wants a child and stuff. I'm just like, what does that have to do with you owning a restaurant? I'm still very confused by that. Like, even as I'm sitting there uttering the words out of my mouth, I'm still just like, I don't understand. Like, I don't, I don't get it. But Sunny's also, Sunny reminds her that she does do volunteer work. And, owning a restaurant and doing volunteer work is going to be next to impossible. It's not just saying it's not going to happen or people can't do it, but it is a struggle. And she likes doing volunteer work. So ultimately, she's like, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to do it. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Oh, this is this was an entire utter waste of time. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I just like what there's something wrong, Gregory. Okay. You got Alexis and Sam on one part of the room. You got Chase, Ben, and Gregory on the other part. And Gregory's upset, telling his boys he's upset that Alexis was snooping around his life and sticking her nose where it don't belong. I'm like, bro, you're just upset because she caught you lying. Why can't you just be honest with her? About your real reason. Or at the very least, all you had to sit there and do was say, I don't want to work at the Invader. That's it. That's all. In all reality, all you had to really sit there and do is like, I don't want to work at the Invader. I mean, you already told one. You already sitting there telling a lie to her, um, about why. All you had to do was sit there and change around, be like, I don't want to work there, and that would have been fine. But no, you're just like, hey, it's like, no, she just caught you lying. That's why you're upset. And Sam was sitting there telling Alexis that what you did was very intrusive. And to an extent, I do get where Sam is coming. I do get where Sam is coming from. And even Diane was like, I don't think it's a good idea. So I do get that part. But she found out the truth, and she found out he was lying. And at some point, when both of their kids leave, they walk up to each other, they start talking, and they try to find a way to mend fences because they still want to be friends and still want to be in each other's lives. So at some point, it looks like Gregory lost his balance and like I don't know, like spilled like a glass or something. And Alexis like, "Have you been drinking?" And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what if he has? I mean, it's not like he's working or anything like that. And the dude could sit there and take an Uber or a Lyft or whatever that universe wants to sit there and call them. Um, what if he was drinking? And I don't understand that. Now, obviously, it's not the drinking, and I think it has something to do with a tumor. If I'm going to be honest, something medically wrong with him, and it seems like whatever it is, it seems like it's incurable. I'm assuming that's what it is. I could be wrong, but you know, time will sit there and tell. Towards the end, Spencer comes back to the house and starts acting like a dick to Dex. Why aren't you outside? What are you doing here? I'm like, shut your ass up. Um, and Sonny was like, yeah, no, he's staying with us. So now he just stands there with that stupid look on his face. Um, I almost forgot. Portia and Liz were pretty much just another part of the filler that occupied this episode. They just caught up. Portia Smith, they're talking about her lies, and Liz Smith, they're talking about her lies with the whole Esme thing, and Portia talking about Trina and lying to Taggart and lying to Curtis. And I mean, granted, Liz is not going to sit there and judge her. Not that she should ever judge her, but she wasn't going to sit there and judge her. She's been there too, and now at this point, she's sitting there wondering if she's going to actually have a job at the review board. So they pretty much just kind of catch up, and towards the end, she sees Ben, and she's, talks to Ben, and she's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to have a job after this. Um, I think that she will have a job. I really do. I can't see them giving the character the only other thing I could sit there and see her doing is painting. Because that's something she used to do for a very long time. Or as far as when I started watching the show back in high school, that's what she was doing. So that's the only other thing I can see her doing is painting. But I feel like there's a 95% chance, 96% chance that she is not going to go anywhere. Oh, and towards the end, Trina goes to visit Esme in jail. Um, for reasons. For reasons. I don't know what reason. Well, the only thing I could sit there and think of is she wants to try to convince Esme to give the baby to Spencer, which is kind of odd seeing how I don't feel like he can really take care of himself. Um, well, that's not true. He can take care of himself with money, but anyway, I feel like that's what she's there for. Anyway, I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else that happened in this episode. But if I did forget about something, we will sit there and talk about it in the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. For everyone, Saturdays and Sundays, members, if you want to be a member, hit the join button at the bottom in the description box. And it's a lot of fun. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.